So for today, we're going to be looking at the Legatus set for the Warlocks, which is going to be the last video for the Legatus set. I do want to apologize again that this video came out late as hell, considering this armor should not be available now. But if Bungie did give you 3 weeks for the armor, then I definitely would suggest you guys picking it up. But if it's not available, again, apologies, just been really busy. But if you guys do want to see them, we do have the Legatus review and the shaded video already done. You guys can check it out. And we've already did the Hunter and Titan video as well. Definitely check those out as well. So yeah, I really like this armor. That being said, I will be mentioning some different like pieces that you could be using in case you didn't pick it up, just so that way I feel a little bit less guilty about pushing these out late as hell. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. I appreciate y'all coming to this point. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. If you guys like the video, like, comment, subscribe. It really does help because a huge portion of people are actually not subscribed. So if you can do me a favor, like, comment, sub, hit the bell notification because that also does help. Other than that, well, let's get into it. So to start off, we're going to be using the helmet Legatus cover with the Legatus bond. So the other things are going to be the arc-like gloves, robes of Nezarec, and then the alternate conduction ornament for the Geomag stabilizers. So I think this one's pretty cool. Shader-wise, Dawning Brilliance is what we're using. And I think the set looks pretty cool. I really like the combination of the Legatus cover with the robes of Nezarec because they both have the same like linings that change color. Specifically the collar, you can definitely see it from there, but other pieces as well. Arc-like gloves with the alternate conduction ornament was a choice just because I wanted to give a little bit more depth to this set, which is why we're using electrical pieces. And then Legatus bond, honestly, just so that way I can get it out of the way, because honestly, if it was up to me, I would probably just switch out the mark or the bond for something else. Probably something that has a little bit more of an electric vibe, but here we are. Overall, I think this set looks pretty cool, pretty decent if I'm being quite honest. I think the chest piece with the helmet is a really good choice though. It looks really cool together. Ooh. And yeah, I have really nothing more to say. Honestly, the only thing that I really hate about this helmet, and I've said this in the review video, is just the ball in the helmet. Like, it's just like, why? Like actually why? As for the next set, this one is definitely the L of the group, but not the L of the group, if that makes any sense. So let me explain my thought process. For the actual exotic, we're going to be using Dawn Chorus. For the Legatus piece, we're going to be using the robes. For the other pieces, Wrath Trail gloves, Plaguebreaker boots, and then the Scaldic Chant bond. So my issue with this set is just the sheer fact that the balls look stupid, specifically on the shoulder pads. Now, because of those balls, I thought Dawn Chorus, I know it has those weird balls on the sides for the base look of it, which we'll just do that instead. And I think that look came out pretty well. The Wrath Trail gloves came about because I wanted to have leather on the arms. And I think they came out really cool because there's still that bone color on the actual like design. And then Plaguebreaker boots, honestly, I didn't really care for what boots I would use here. I just ended up using Plaguebreaker because I wanted that like the fact that it has the same color as the underdress looks really cool. And then the Scaldic Chant bond, honestly, I didn't even realize I was using that. I'm gonna be honest. So Dreaming Spectrum is what I'm using, just so that way I can combine all the metals into one color. And I think this one's pretty decent. My only thing is like, would I ever use this Dawn Chorus set, or would I use this set as a Dawn Chorus set? Probably not, because I have way better Dawn Chorus sets, and not even mentioning the ornament, but just the base look of it, I have way better sets. So this is the worst one in the sense that like, I just would never use this set, but it is not the worst set I've ever made, granted. Like, this is definitely usable. I definitely see myself using this. Maybe switch out the arms for something else. The bond I would probably turn off because this chest piece already has so much going on that I don't think a bond is needed here. And I think boots would probably be switched out for either something that has like an actual metal color, so that way I can have like the bone color at the bottom as well, or keep it the same as how it is now, because I do think it looks pretty cool. So let me know what you guys think about this one. As for the next set, I did mention in the review video for the Legatus set that the arms I usually use in a bougie look, which is, this is what I had in mind. Couturier cover with the Couturier long coat, which is a sin. I should not be using the same helmet with the same chest piece because then it makes it look like the same set. The only difference I did it here is because I totally forgot that they came from the same set. That is literally it. So if you were to ask me, like, instead of that helmet, what would I use? The Righteous Hood would, no, not the Righteous, I'm sorry. What's this called? The Hood of the Great Hunt, which is from the Last Wish raid. That one would be the best choice personally, just because that one looks bougie as fuck. But if you were to ask me like what other pieces I would use for that instead, there's a lot of other cool pieces. I think the Street Scholar cover would be really, really cool. Virtuous helmet would be really, really cool. The Starfarer's hood would be cool. There's so many pieces that you could use. So honestly, at this point, I would just ignore the helmet. Lux crown would be really cool. Actually, the Lux crown would be the best one for this, if I'm being honest. Honestly, I'd probably use the Eagle's hood, which is the Assassin's Creed helmet. So yeah, ignore the helmet. Just imagine literally almost anything else, because the main piece here is the Couturier long coat. That is the piece that I like to combine with the Legatus gloves. For the actual boots, we're going to be using the Efficient Pursuit ornament for the Stormers. And then the bond is the Blood Lineage bond. So I definitely think this set looks really cool. Again, just ignore the helmet. But again, if you are one of those people that don't mind the combo of the same helmet and chest piece, then this actually might not be something that you would mind at all. It's just, for me, I don't like to break rules, specifically the rules that I have, which I probably should mention that I have rules when I make fashion. This one is one of them. Never combine the same chest piece with the same helmet for Warlocks. Titans and Hunters have the rule of never combine the same chest piece with the same boots, because then it almost looks like the same set. That's a rule that I break sometimes, but not all the time. And then the last rule is, or two more rules would be, I don't care about using different shaders for every piece. That's not a rule that I go by. So for people who are like, oh, this looks cool, but you should use different shaders, I don't really give a shit about that. And then the rule that I use the most, this one's the one that I never break, or you shouldn't say never, I have broken it before, but this is a rule that I never like to break, is using more than 3 pieces of a set. That's one that I will always try to never break. So yeah, this one's not bad. I would just switch out the helmet for something else, and it would actually be really cool. So let me know what you guys think. And then last but not least, we have this. So I like this one quite a bit for different reasons. So for the actual Legatus piece, it's going to be the Legatus boots. And then for the actual exotic, we're going to be using the Astrocyte verse. For the arms, Contender gloves, the chest piece is the Technologic robes, and then the Technologic bond. So let me explain why I really like this one. First and foremost, it is the shadering, but not for the reasons you think. So Gamekeeper for the helmet, just because it gives off a little bit more coloring that goes with the chest piece. The arms are going to be using Smashing Success, specifically because it gives me that textured brown, which I already wanted brown, and I wanted more texture because the chest piece has a lot of textures as well, which is why I chose the Smashing Success. Queen's colors for the chest piece and boots, just so that way I can get a baseline coloring, and then the Envious Touch for the bond because it has that brown. So honestly, this is much more of a, these have different colorings for whatever reason. This is different colorings because they give you different things that I wanted. Specifically, Smashing Success gives me that textured arms, which is not baseline for that. If you guys know Contender gloves, you guys will know that does not come with that texture. It's just basically naked. So Smashing Success is giving that texture. Gamekeeper, like I said, I wanted to have a base color theme for the helmet that goes well with the chest piece, and then the Envious Touch because it has that brown that goes with everything else. So this is much more of a, I'm using different shaders because whatever. It's more just calculated, I guess. So is this the best set? I would say probably not, just because I do think the first one is just really good, which is so weird to say considering the helmet fucking sucks. But I guess I did make it look pretty good, so that's probably it. That being said, I still think the fourth one probably might be better, just because it has more intent with that. When I say that, it's like there's a lot more thought process when it comes to this one, especially with the shadering, than the first one. The first one is just one shader, don't really have to think about it. This one had to really think about it, which made it look better. That being said, I do think the boots are not the best for this one, or maybe just switch out the boots shading for something that has a little bit more brown, because right now it looks a little dark and doesn't really add much to this whole thing. So I would most likely just switch the boots out for something else that gives me much more of a brown or textured color type of thing, because again, boots are really doing nothing in this set, which is kind of the whole point of this video, the Legatus pieces. So nothing too crazy to talk about. Did I talk about what I would do for different pieces? I mean, to be fair, the first one, I don't know what I would switch out. Probably some piece that has an electrical vibe to it, or you could use the Mass Effect helmet for this one. That one would be pretty cool, specifically for the first set. The second set, I would most likely, I don't know. The second one would honestly be whatever you want, because the chest piece is very much the whole design of this. So honestly, there isn't really no replacing this one. For the third one, which is the bougie one, you could probably just switch out something that has like bougie pieces, but I mean, that one's not too hard. And then the last one, honestly, I would just go back to the drawing board for those boots, because there's a lot of things I would be going for. Like, you could definitely do like the Shadow Broker boots, Thunderhead boots, which is from Neo Muna, Siege Break boots you could do, or you could do the Siege Break boots, the season pass, not season pass, the seasonal, or not, fuck, the seasonal playlist activity armor. That one, that's the one I'm talking about. Jesus, that took way too long. Yeah, there's a few boots that you could definitely do here. I would just honestly go back to the drawing board for that. But Warlocks, let me know what you guys think. Apologies that this took way longer than it should have. I should have made these videos a while ago, but again, I was just busy. Me and my fiance were going out more than usual this week. Also watched the movie Sinners with her, which was really, really good. Very, very much a good movie. Also been preparing for a wedding that's coming up this week. Not mine, just some family member's wedding, and the other things I've been doing in the background as well. I'll eventually tell you guys what I'm doing in the background. I just don't want to mention it now because I'm not ready for it. But yeah, I've just been busy. That's probably the best reason why I just wasn't able to do it, just because on top of work, I work full time. So yeah, apologies, but most of the time I will be posting the videos even if it is late, but apologies. Again, there's other content creators you can definitely check out. I think Crips is going to be the best choice. He pushes out so much great content, and he's the one who pushes out content that I wish I could cover. It's just that I just don't have time to cover all the stuff that I think about. So that's why I'm mostly covering like armor pieces, armor reviews and stuff like that, because that's the best choice for me. And it just content that I like, but eventually I would like to cover a lot more of the game. It's just that I have a lot of apathy right now for Destiny 2 specifically. Like, I haven't turned on, or I haven't played Destiny 2 in like almost 2 weeks, I think, which is kind of crazy when you think about it, because I was playing daily like not even a few months ago. So it's just, I don't really care for Destiny 2 right now. Honestly, the thing that I'm doing in the background is just giving me much more of a satisfying feel that I don't feel like playing Destiny 2 anymore, which is kind of crazy. Like, to the point where Destiny 2 is just a dress-up game for me. Like, I don't really care for art, like weapons or anything like that anymore. I just care about, can I get armor? No? Okay, I don't care. So apologies, but let me know what you guys think. If you like the videos, remember, like, comment, subscribe. It really actually does help. So yeah, be safe. I'll see you guys later.